Have you been feeling different since you became a mum and wondering if there was something wrong with you, if you were doing it right? I'm here to tell you that it is not you. It has a name. In this video, I want to speak to you about the transition that women go through pregnancy, postpartum and beyond. And I think really understanding what it is you're going through will help you navigate that season just a bit better. I'm Remy, I'm an obstetrics and gynecology doctor, but I'm also a mother of two. And I too have gone through this transition to motherhood. And I really wish that I knew what it was called at the time, because I think it would have given me some perspective and moved me away from sort of blame and shame. You might be asking yourself, why don't I feel happier now? Why aren't I over the moon, excited, ready to be a mum? And you're not the only one. I remember with my first baby going to a baby massage class, and the person leading the class went round and said, "What's one thing you're enjoying about motherhood?" And she started with me, and I really couldn't think of one. And she looked at me with judgment in her eyes, being like, "Don't worry, we'll come back to you." I sat there for the next hour feeling like deeply ashamed of myself, because here I was with an 8-week-old and I couldn't name one thing that I enjoyed about motherhood. Soon after that, I realized that the only way to navigate baby and mum spaces was to lie. Unfortunately, I forgot. And I went to a swim class and we went for a picnic after, and everyone was talking about this gushy feeling they got the minute their baby was born. And I was honest. I said, I didn't get that. I knew that I loved the baby, but I didn't get this sparks, rainbows, fireworks in the sky kind of love. And again, everyone went quiet. At that point, I felt lost. I felt not myself, and I felt like I couldn't genuinely quantify the experience that I was having, put into words, explain it to anyone without judgment. Couldn't do it with new mums, couldn't do it with friends who weren't mums, couldn't really do it with my partner. And so I just languished in this state of not quite happy, not quite sad, conflicting emotions of grief, I guess, for the life that I wanted to live, but also excitement for all the milestones that this amazing baby was going through. And these things can coexist, and they should. It was years later that I came across this idea of matrescence. This is a term that was first put together in the 1970s by a researcher. And the idea is that when women go through motherhood, pregnancy, postpartum, and beyond, they go through an enormous shift that affects them physically, psychologically, and socially. And what you see, even in their brains, I'll do a video on this later, is that the shift that they go through is similar to what we experience in adolescence. So you have kids who go from being preteens to teens and all the hormonal changes that happen with that. And we appreciate that this transition period is hard, but we don't afford women who have babies the same grace. And so this idea is that matrescence is a shift that occurs psychologically, physically, and mentally during the season of pregnancy and postpartum. Doesn't just affect them individually, but it affects how they see themselves, their identity, it affects their relationships and how they interact with their responsibilities. And actually, if you think about the modern woman, this will also affect how she relates with her career moving forward. And it definitely did for me. The person that I was pre-baby really changed. And that's something that I've explained on my other channel, Remy's Room, which you can watch here. But it's not something to be sniffed at. It's not something to feel ashamed about. It's just a genuine transition through life that requires support in the healthcare system, in the workplace, and in society at large. And you might say, but how does this show up for me? And it will show up for people in different ways. It will be different for different people. And one of the 3 shifts that I think that if I look back at my story that I could identify is this shift in identity. Women are choosing to have babies later, but you may have had an identity of yourself formed for the first 30 years of your life. And then you have a baby and go through this matrescence, this shift that's an ongoing process. And as you're raising a child and taking them through all their life stages, you're creating new ones alongside them. And then your identity shifts. So it might be that your freedom that you once had, so the autonomy to do what you want, has gone, and you don't know who you are without that. So for instance, once you have a baby, your sleep is disjointed. The ability to go for a coffee or go for a night out or go for a date with your partner is limited because you require either somewhere that's child friendly or childcare. And all of these things slowly eat away at the identity you have for yourself. We also live in a very baby-centric environment where the mother is expected to be quite sacrificial for the benefit of the child. And almost so that we hear platitudes of, you can't pour from an empty cup. Oh, you must engage in self-care. But actually many women, I definitely have gone through periods of where you feel guilty for serving yourself, for filling your own cup, and also can sometimes be perceived to be selfish by people around you. And it's those things as well that also contribute to this period and this transition being harder and much more of a struggle than it needs. And then I alluded to this earlier, there's that internal conflict of where you really want to be yourself, but you know and truly appreciate that you want to be a mum. And how do you balance these things? You want to show love and adoration and care to your growing kids, but actually you want to feed yourself. You want the career maybe of your dreams. You want the body back. You want the time back. You want your friends back. You want stimulating conversation back. And these are sometimes things that you struggle to find in motherhood and mum settings, especially when it comes to friends. It's typical that you make friends through work, through school, through university, and you genuinely bond on shared interests. And then you go into mummy spaces, and it can sometimes be a struggle to find friends that would be on your similar wavelength outside of the fact that you both have kids around the same age. And so there are things like that that I think are also worth considering and can contribute to how you experience this transition. And oftentimes we, as women, like to point the finger back at ourselves. I've done something wrong. It's my fault that I don't enjoy this. It's me that wants to be selfish. Internalizing any sort of negativity that society has thrown up over the years, that pressure to perform as a mother at sacrifice to self. But I think that with a change and an acknowledgement that this season is hard, this transition period is hard, I think that there are things that we can do as women, as people going through this, to, I guess, reclaim ourselves back. So if you're feeling lost, what can you do to feel a bit more like you again? And acknowledging that it's a process. It is a process. But I think understanding why this transition happens helps you to, through that process a little bit quicker and get back to yourself. It's really misunderstood that when women have babies, you get your postpartum check at 6 weeks. And then again, there's this presumption that everything kind of goes back to normal. In the UK, at least, we're quite lucky to get a year off for maternity leave. But then the thought process is actually once you're back to work, that's it. Like that whole idea of being a postpartum woman and juggling a full-time job of parenting is done. You're now back to the workplace. And some women will say, I felt like myself again at 2.5 years. I felt like myself again at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Like that transition to being yourself again can be a really long time. Not even taking into account that you might go on and have more children, and therefore you're prolonging that period of being in that transition stage of life. So the idea that matrescence has an end date is incorrect, because however long it takes for you is however long it takes for you. And whenever I speak to people who are often asking, when should I become a mum? When should I have my first child? I often say to them, once you're a parent, you're never not a parent, right? Like you could have an 18-year-old who travels around the world and you're still a mum. Like even though your time is your own, your mental space, I don't think you ever get that back. And so in the same vein, matrescence is a long-term transition period that we have to learn to navigate. We have to learn to be ourselves in. And I think there are 3 things that we can do to help to reclaim ourselves if we're feeling lost in this season. So the first thing is to name the transition. Like knowing that matrescence was a recognized thing gave me peace, that it wasn't just me. There is something going on within me that is affecting my experience of this period of life. And maybe even leaning into it, knowing that my brain was changing, that neuroplasticity was occurring, physically my body had changed, the hormones had come and gone, and that socially my place within society had changed. And actually, if you understand that better, then you can work with it. So I think naming the transition is really important, really understanding it, reading about it. There are books on the topic. There's a book that I listened to quite recently called Matrescence, where they talk to you about the whole transition from pregnancy to beyond. So reading up around it and really understanding that what you're going through is normal and it's literally bigger than you, and all women will go through it, and their experience in it will be different. And so stop judging your emotions. If you feel happy or sad, allow those things to be there. If you feel resentful, allow that to be there. Seeking help if you feel that your emotions are crippling you in a way, I think is really important. There are coaches, therapists that you can engage as you transition through this period to allow you genuinely be honest. Like, I feel if I had access to a group of women who were allowed to be honest about the experience of motherhood, where you could get it off your chest, to understand your emotions, understand where the conflicts are arising, that would have been, like, for me, really helpful in that first year of life. Because as I look back on it, did I have low mood? Yes. But as a doctor, would I have said I had postpartum depression? Not quite. I think I had quite a few protective factors around me that I wasn't clinically depressed, but my mood was low. Lots of women struggle in that postpartum period, and the word and the language that we have for it is postpartum depression, but it might not quite be depression, but it's also not normal. Having that group setting to dissect that would have really been useful for me to understand how my feelings and emotions at that time were part of a bigger normal picture. And I think as well, something that we can do is reclaim one aspect of your identity. So if you are someone that loved to put on makeup and go out, are there ways in that you can reclaim that tiny bit? Like, could you get dressed up once a week? Could you go to places that allow you to experience that aspect of yourself, maybe an art class during the day, or a yoga class, or afternoon tea, where you are getting dressed up and going out, even if you are going along with a baby? So again, that's allowing you to reclaim that one aspect. If you were someone that loved to read a book in quiet by yourself, is there a way that you with your partner or friends or social support can facilitate you having that time back? Before having babies, like, the idea of binging a show just filled me with joy, and it's just something that I don't do as often. But actually, once a month, once every other couple of months, I will find time to just slob on the sofa and binge a show. And as much as I feel a bit at the end of it, I'm definitely appreciative for it, because that reminds me of, like, my younger self. And is there one thing that you can hold on to, that you can bring into motherhood, that makes you feel a little bit like you? What I want you to hold on to is that motherhood is a transition. And although you might be feeling like you're losing yourself, I promise you, on the other side of it, you are becoming something new. You are building and transforming and going through a beautiful phase, hard, but beautiful phase of finding a newer version of you, a more developed version, complex version of you. And I think that's also beautiful to behold. As well as this period of matrescence, loneliness in mothers, and new mothers specifically, is well recognized and can be debilitating for your psychological health, as well as your physical health, really. And I have a video about that on this channel, so why don't you go and have a look at that and see if you identify with any of those. On this channel, I'm speaking about pregnancy and postpartum and the context within which it exists, psychologically, socially, and mentally, and supporting you alongside it. If you recognize yourself in this video, drop some comments down below and share it for the wider group to also be encouraged by. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to this channel, and why don't you go and look at the other video on postpartum loneliness. I'll catch you in my next one.